Hello everyone, my name is Naman Goyal and this is the last lecture of this chapter. Okay, in previous class we learned about the relation between mean, mode and median, right? Okay, so in today's class we are going to learn about these topics. Okay, now see, in today's class what we are going to learn about? We are going to learn about measure of dispersion, okay, variance, standard deviation, relation between mean, median and mode. See, this topic we already done in previous lecture. Okay, already done in previous lecture. Okay, okay, so in today's lecture we are not going to do this. Okay, are you getting my point? Okay, very nice. So next, first topic is what? Measure of dispersion, right? See, what is the meaning of measure of dispersion? Okay, now if you read the definition of this part, dispersion is a state of getting dispersed or spread. So basically in this part, what we dispersion means what? The state, how much the state is getting spread or getting dispersed. Okay, statistically dispersion means the extent to which a numerical data is likely to vary about an average value. So in this part we are going to learn about key there is a average value. So with respect to that average value, our numerical value how much will be distract. Okay, okay, in statistic the measure of dispersion helps to interrupt the variability of the data. Okay, so if we have a average value and we want to check key how many variability is there. So with that concept, if we want to find that, then with the help of this dispersion concept we are going to do that. Okay, that is to know how much homogeneous and heterogeneous data is. In simple term, it shows how squeezed or scattered the variable is. Okay, if you see this diagram, if you able to see this diagram, this is the original value, this is the dispersed value in one data, and this is the dispersed value in second data. Okay, so if you see the data for B is dispersed that much, right, and for C that much. Okay, so we are going to calculating this one. Okay, now the measure of dispersion commonly used commonly used are, first is range. Okay, range method we already learned. Okay, second is mean deviation. Okay, next one is what? Standard deviation. This is standard. Third one is standard deviation, which is very important. This is most important method to that do that. Okay, important. Are you getting my point? Okay, now you know what is range. So standard deviation we are going to learn. You know range because I already told maximum minus minimum is the range. If I am talking about range, it is what? Largest value minus smallest value is the range, right? Okay, now we are going to learn about what? Mean deviation. Then we are going to learn about standard deviation and variance. Okay, first we are going to learn about what? Mean deviation. Okay, so the topic is mean deviation. Okay, so first of all we are going to learn about the definition. What is mean deviation? Okay, now mean deviation, the definition is, write down, mean deviation about a central value. As I told you, what we do in dispersion, finding dispersion, measurement of dispersion, we find the deviation with respect to a central value. So mean deviation about a central value, or we can say that average value. Okay, central value is defined as the mean of absolute deviation, mean of absolute deviation, okay, of all the values of about the center value, mean of all the value about the central value. Okay, say about the central value. ठीक है, नाउ सी देखो, मीन डेविएशन एक सेंट्रल वैल्यू के अबाउट निकालेंगे. एब्सोल्यूट का मतलब होता है बेटा मॉड्यूलस, मॉड्यूलस वैल्यू, मॉड्यूलेटेड वैल्यू, मॉड्यूलस. ठीक है. एंड व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ मॉड्यूलस? देखो, द साइन फॉर यूजिंग फॉर फाइंडिंग मॉड्यूलस ऑफ एनी क्वांटिटी is like this, mod x. So it means what? Mod is a function. In what they do, it makes positive the negative quantity. If the input is like -2, the output is 2 only. If the input is 3, answer is 3 only, because the work of modulus is what? To make them positive, right? Okay, to make it positive. So if in mod x, there are two definitions, right? If x is greater than equals to 0, means the thing inside the modulus is already positive, so the output of that model is positive. There is no need to convert it because it is already positive, right? So the output is what? X only. If the input we give is negative, so it means what? The quantity inside the mod is negative. So for make it positive, what we have to do? We have to multiply it by negative sign. See, if I'm talking about -4 mod, so -4 is a negative number. So to make -4 as positive, how, what we can do? We have to multiply with a negative sign. Now minus minus become plus and become 4. So if the x is negative number, so what we have to do? We have to take minus of x. So output of this quantity is x when x is positive, and the output of this quantity is minus x when x is negative. Are you getting my point? So this is about what? Absolute. Okay, this is the meaning of absolute. Okay. Okay, now see. Okay, now the concept behind this is what? Listen, if we have x1 comma x2 comma x3 and so on up to xn are n observations. Okay, so what is mean deviation? So mean deviation, this is not a, this is d. Listen, what is mean deviation? Is what? Summation. As I told you, we have to take the absolute value of mean deviation or about a central value. So x I minus x bar. X bar is what? Mean upon total number n. Okay, this is the formula we are going to use for mean deviation. Okay. Okay, now there is a question. We are going to do a question. So write down. Question is calculate mean deviation about mean for the following data. Okay, so data is like 3 4 5 3 4 8 7 2 9 12. Okay, so what we have to do? We have to find out the mean. So we have to draw the table. Okay, this is what? Class marks xi. These terms are xi. Okay, so 3 4 8 7 2 9 and 12 also, right? There is another term which is 12. Okay, so what we have to do first? We have to find out the mean, because the formula for mean deviation is what? Summation modulus of xi minus x bar upon n, right? So first of all, we have to find out mean, right? So mean is what? Sum of these term, which is 3 plus 4 plus 8 plus 7 plus 2 plus 9 plus 12, right? Upon how much? 7, right? Okay, so 3 plus 4 12, 12 plus 8, 3 plus 4 not 12, 7, 7 plus 7 14, 14 plus 8 is 22, 22 plus 2 24, 24 plus 9 is what? 24 plus 9 is what? 33, 33, 35, 45, right? So you can take it as 2. Now there is no 12, 2 only, right? You can take this quantity as 2. Okay, this is only 2. So this is 2, right? Like this. So the sum becomes 35. So 35 upon 7. What I take, why I take 2? Because it become easier to solve, right? Calculation है ना, कम हो जाएगा. So 5 is the mean, right? So now what we have to do, we have to write down the table for modulus of xi minus x bar. So the value of x bar is 5. According to our question, value of x bar is what? 5. Okay. Now xi is what? 3, right? This is xi. So it will be what? 3 minus 5. How much we got? Modulus of minus 2, and the mod of minus 2 is what? 2, right? Same, 4 minus 5 mod, so it becomes mod of minus 1, and mod of minus 1 is again 1. Mod of 8 minus 5, right? Which is mod of 3, and mod of 3 is only 3, right? Same, 7 minus 5 mod, it will be mod of 2, and it is 2, right? Mod of 2 we already taken, right? 2 we already taken, sorry. So we can take 9, we can make it 1, we can make it 2, koi no problem na, no problem. If we take 2 already, then no problem. Okay, 2 minus 5, which is mod of minus 3, which is 3, and mod of 9 minus 5, which is mod of 4, which is 4, right? And last one is what? Mod of 2 minus 5, no problem, which is mod of minus 3, and which is only 3, right? Okay. Now this, what we got this. Now we have to add them, right? Because we want the summation, right? So the sum, let me change the color. Yes. Now the sum is what? 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 3 is 9, 6, 6 plus 2 8, 8 plus 3 11, plus 4 11, plus 4 15, plus 3 18. So what we got? We got summation modulus of xi minus x bar. How much we got? 7 10 15 18, right? Okay. Now answer is what? Answer, as you know, the formula is what? Formula is what? Mean deviation is equals to sum of, this is not a sign like that, let me erase this. Okay, so the formula is what? Summation of mod of xi minus x bar upon n. So what is x bar? Xi with this quantity is 18 upon 7. So the answer is what? 18 by 7. Okay, if you want to calculate more, then you can calculate. Okay, are you getting my point? So this is about what? Mean deviation. Okay, so the formula is this. Okay, so this is the very simple method to solve. Okay, are you getting my point? Is there any doubt? No doubt. Okay, now let's move for variance and standard deviation, right? Now the term is, next term is variance and standard deviation. Now listen, what is the variance? Okay, see, first of all, variance is represented by sigma square. Variance is represented by what? Sigma. This is the sign of sigma square. Now what is means? Deduct the mean from each data is the set that is squaring each of them. Now we are going to square them. Okay, and adding each square, and now finally dividing them by the total number of values. In mean deviation, what we do? We just take simple modulus, right? Now in this one, we have to square also. We have to make a square also. The number of values is called variance, right? Variance is represented by what? Sigma square. Let me write down the formula. Sigma square is equals to summation x I minus x bar square upon n. Got it? Are you getting my point? Now standard deviation is what? Square root of variance is known as standard deviation. Simple as that. If I'm talking in simple language, standard deviation is what? Square root of variance. So it will be square root of variance sigma, right? Is standard deviation. So now standard deviation is what? The population standard deviation formula is sigma. See, this is variance, right? 1 upon n summation I to 1 xi minus n mu square, right? So sigma, for sigma we have to take under root on both the side. Now sigma is what? Population standard deviation. N is what? Number of observation in population. Xi is what? Ith observation in the population, which is also known as class marks. which is also known as what? Class marks. And popularly mu is what? Mean. Here what I take mean as x bar. So if I rewrite down this formula, so it will be sigma square is equals to 1 upon n summation I is equals to 1 to n capital N. If I take capital N here, then you can take capital N. So it will be xi minus x bar whole square. In mean deviation, what we do, we just take only mod, we don't make square. But in standard deviation, or we can say that for variance, what we do, we have to take square also. Okay, got it? Very simple. Okay, you can do this, right? Okay. Now there is another term which is known as sample variance. Sample variance, you have to take minus n minus 1 in denominator only. Okay, so have you got the formula? So this is the formula for sample standard deviation, and this is the formula for what? Standard variance. Are you getting my point? So this is very simple formula. Okay, are you getting my point? Okay, now next, with the help of this formula, we are going to do some questions. Okay, so here if you see what it's given in this question, if you see what is given, now see, class interval is given and corresponding frequencies are given. See, if frequency is there, then we have to multiply it by frequency also, right? Then what we have to do, we have to multiply it by frequency also. Okay, in formula. Okay, and we have to take summation fi, right? Got it? We have to multiply it by fi in numerator and fi in denominator. So we have to take summation fi. Okay, so if I'm going to draw, see, let me write down the formula. Sigma square, if frequency is given, so it will be summation fi multiplied by xi minus x bar square upon summation fi. Simple as that. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to draw the table. Okay. Yes. Listen carefully, okay? Now first is class interval, which is already given in the question. Class interval. Okay. Now for class interval 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 45, 50, sorry, not 45, 50, and 50 to 60, right? Now what we have to do, we have to write down class marks, which is treated as xi. And what is the class marks? As I told you in previous lectures, middle point of this data. So it will be 10 by 2, 5. 20 plus 10 by 2, 30 by 2, which is 15. Then 25, 35, 45, 55. Write down, right? Okay, now corresponding frequency are 27, 10, 7, 5, 4, and 2. Now, if you see, first of all, what we have to do, we have to find out some mean, right? So for mean, what we need FIXI, right? So if I draw the table of FIXI, so it will be looks like this. Okay, let me tell the solution here. Okay, I can do the solution here. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to draw the table of class marks, then frequency table, then mid value, which is also known as, this is class interval, this is also known as class marks. Okay, 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, and 55. So first step, what we have to do, we have to find out mean of given data. Okay, we have to find out what mean of given data. Okay, so for mean is x bar is formula is what? Summation fi. This is summation, right? Summation fi xi upon summation fi, right? So summation fi xi के लिए we have to draw the table of fi xi. So how we draw the table? We have to multiply these two quantities, right? Let me change the color. We have to multiply these two quantities. Okay, so 27 into 5 is 135, 10 into 15 150, 7 into 25 is 175, 5 into 35 is 175, 4 into 45 is 180, 2 into 55 is 1110, right? 110. So if you add them all, you will got 9 to 5. Okay. Now for x bar, this quantity is what? 925 upon what? Upon summation f is what? 55. So you can divide this quantity, right? So if you divide this, then what will you got as x bar? So if you divide this, you will got 16.818. How much you got? 16.818, right? Okay, now we have to find out what? Variance and mean. Mean we already done. Variance and standard deviation, right? Now see, in this question we have to use the formula. Okay, now for formula, if you see in this solution they use another formula, right? They use another formula, but we are going to do this question by a proper formula, okay, which we learn now. Okay, so the formula is what? We have to draw the table for what? xi minus x bar square, right? Okay, so we have to do this, right? Okay, we have to do this. Okay, okay, let me show you one thing. Okay, okay, okay. Now see, the formula we use here is what? Variance is equals to, let me show you the formula, is 1 upon n minus 1 bracket summation f xi square minus 1 upon n summation f xi square, right? After calculation you got this formula. Okay, with the help of this formula, this particular formula, this formula we already learned. With the help of that formula only we can find the formula. Okay, so here we are going to use this formula, right? Okay, now if you see, the value of n is what? Summation fi. देखो capital N क्या है बेटा? Capital N is what? Summation fi. Okay, which is 55, right? So 1 upon 55 minus 1. ओके, अब देखो इसका टेबल हमें बनाना पड़ेगा. सो वी ऑलरेडी मेक द टेबल, राइट? ठीक है. सो इफ यू सी द सम इज व्हाट? 27575. तो इट विल बी 27575, राइट? minus 1 upon, it is again 55, minus 1 upon again 55 it is. Now अब इसका फॉर्मूला है fi xi का स्क्वायर, so we have to take the square of what? 925, so it will be 925 square. ठीक है, like this. So if you solve this, it will be 1 upon 54. We write down this as same, and if you solve this quantity you will got this. So after calculation the answer you will got this one. And for standard deviation it will be root of variance, and you can take the square root of this one, you will got 14.918. Okay, so this is a simple question, you can do like that. Okay, okay, very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, so you can find out the thing like this, right? Okay, let me show you a question. Okay, we are going to use the formula we learn. Okay, we are going to do that. Okay, only. Okay, now see, write down a question. Okay, okay. Okay, now write down a question, draw the table. There is a data given. What we have to do, we have to find out standard deviation and mean also, variance also. Okay, so the xi is given as 4, 8, 11, 17, or it is 17. Okay, then 20, 24, and 32, right? And corresponding frequencies are given like 3, 5, 9, 5. Okay, it is 4, 3, and 1. So if you calculate summation fi, now we have this question. ठीक है, तो हमें सबसे पहले क्या करना है? We have to find out the mean, and for mean x bar it is what? Summation fi xi upon summation fi. We have to use this formula, right? ठीक है. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to draw the table of fi xi. So 4 3s are 12, 5 8 5s are 40, 99, 17 5s are 85, right? And 20 into 4, which is 80, 24 3s are 72, and 32, right? So we have to add them also. So if we add them, we got 420. Okay, if we add them all, we got what? 420, right? Now next thing, we want to find sigma square, and the formula for sigma square is what? Summation fi. When frequency distribution is given, then formula is what? Fi into xi minus x bar square upon summation fi, isn't it? Tell me yes or no. Are you getting my point? ठीक है, ठीक है, fair enough. So what we have to do, we have to write down this one, xi माइनस एक्स बार स्क्वायर. तो देखो पहले हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, एक्स बार निकालना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो एक्स बार इज व्हाट? समीशन दिस वन अपॉन दिस वन, सो इट विल बी 420 अपॉन 30. So if you solve this, you will got 14. So 14 is the mean of this particular data. ठीक है. So first is what? 4 minus 14 square. 4 माइनस, देखो 4 में से 14 अपन ने सब्ट्रैक्ट किया, so we got -10. -10 का स्क्वायर इज 100. Similarly, we can do for all the terms. This is xi and this is x bar. So it will be 100, 36, 9, 9, 36, 100 and 324, right? Okay, now after that, what we have to do, we have to multiply it by fi also. Means this table is going to be multiplied with this table. So what we get, fi into xi minus x bar ka square, right? So if I do this, 100 into 3 is 300, 5 into 36 is 180, 9 nines are 81, 9 fives are 9 fives are, this is not 9 fives are 50, 45, right? Sorry, 45 it is. Okay, now 436 into 4, how much we got? 36 into 4 is 144, right? Now 100 3 the 300 and 3 to 4 the rest. Now we have to add them also. So if you add them, you will got 1374. Okay. Now see, the formula is what? Sigma square is what? Summation fi xi minus x bar square upon summation fi, right? Isn't it? So sigma square is nothing but, if you see what we got, this sum 1374, so it will be 1374 upon summation fi is 30, right? So sigma square, and which is variance. So the variance of this particular form question data is what? If you solve this, you will got 45.8. It will be 45.8. Okay. And standard deviation. What is standard deviation? Root over sigma square, which is sigma, means root over 45.8. So if you solve this, you will got 6.77 approx. So the formula we learn in today's lecture, we are going to use that particular formula. Okay, are you getting my point? So we can do questions like that. Okay. Okay, now for this question, there are some practice question. For this question, we have this one. See, median we have, mean we have. Question is asking for mode. I already told a relation between mean, mode and median in previous lecture, so you have to use that. Okay, so if you are going to use that, then you can do this question very easily. And this question is for your homework. Okay, we already done so many questions of this type in previous lecture. So this question is for your homework. One question. Okay, there are some answers of that particular question. You know how to find out the root of decimal numbers, right? You know that, you learn in class 8th, है ना, पढ़ा है आपने ना? So how you know how to find out the square root of 45.8, right? Like this. Okay. 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 So this is all about this chapter. The chapter is completed now. Okay, so now you can practice the questions from your textbook, from the NCERT, and from another any reference book. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. Stay safe and enjoy. Bye.